I feel you.
But I'm gonna click record and we're live. All right, so what's up, guys? The NDO Podcast. I got my boy Jordan here, aka Shaky. You know, if you guys don't know, one of the up and coming videographers, photographers in the Northeast, and then he's trying to go global, right? But so and right now he's a senior, so we'll talk about his story. But how you doing, bro?
I'm good. How you doing, bro?
I'm all right. You already know. Just another day, another dollar, another day to grind, get better. So basically, I want you just to introduce yourself. Give a little bio. We'll go from your young days, where you learn, or where your love for basketball when you first started hooping, and then I'll jump in here and there and just like ask random questions. I want you to tell your journey from middle school to high school to prep to college, and to basically to get to this point right now. So go ahead.
Yeah. I'm Jordan Pettway. I'm from Bridgeport, Connecticut. I go to school and into college in Mass right now. But like from the beginning, like I said, I'm from Bridgeport. Like I grew up playing every sport. I grew up playing baseball, basketball, football. Um, I didn't really start basketball. I always played, but I didn't really like. I was always on like the local good travel team. Like I was always like one of the better players and stuff. And then in eighth grade, I was always playing baseball in the summers. So eighth grade, I played baseball and basketball AAU, and we were going to LeBron James tournament, Ohio. We went to Vegas, Pittsburgh. We was traveling all over the place. I'm seeing crazy types of players. Like I'm doing good. I'm like, yo, I like basketball more. Like so, I decided to just focus more in on basketball. Like in high school, went to high school freshman year, Notre Dame Fairfield. Like I chose Notre Dame because I thought I could play all three sports varsity freshman year. Like that's what I wanted to do. Like at eighth grade, like I knew I was better than everyone. Clearly, as you level up, like it get harder. But back then, like I wanted to play right away every sport. So played football, started varsity there. Basketball, freshman year, I played like varsity. I remember like my first like big game. We playing Kobe Cathedral at Sacred Heart, sold out crowd. My freshman year, I'm scared as hell, bro. Like who they had back then? They had Ian Gardner, couple other dudes. Like they was tough. My point guard was Danny Upchurch. That was my vet. He used to kill me in practice all day, but it definitely helped me in the long run. Then yeah, like, that was my freshman year. Started playing AAU, and then back like as soon as I started playing AAU, my freshman year, I started getting shoulder problems. Like my shoulder would just dislocate. But like I'm like 15, 14, like I'm not about to sit out, play or whatever. So that whole summer kept happening. Once then I had to get surgery right then, boom. So I stopped playing football. I couldn't play football that fall. I think that was 2014 maybe, somewhere around there, or 2013, one of those. Couldn't play football around then. So I just started focusing on basketball. It was like put into me like that I work hard or whatever. So I just started working real hard on basketball, whatever. Sophomore year, I start varsity for the first time. I started every game sophomore year. And I was the only sophomore starting, I think. My team was good. We won like 16-4 or something. We got upset in the conference and the states that year, but like I really like started thinking I could do something with that. So then my boy Jesse, he went to Notre Dame Fairfield with me too. Like we all, Connecticut, like every hooper know each other. Like so my boy Jesse, his uncle was a trainer, and he used to train staff like in Waterbury. Him, my boy's uncle, and Stav's dad, they used to work out every day after school. Like they used to go to the field and then go to the gym. So like time to get out of school, maybe two. So maybe like three to seven. They working out. They like, yo, you want to start coming? I'm like, yeah, like I might as well. I'm only playing basketball now. I really need to start training more. So we do that every day, every day. This is the first time in my life I'm really like training every day, like to like really focusing on what I need to focus on. And I saw progress crazy. Like I went maybe sophomore year, I averaged like 7 points, maybe 8 points. Like I was all right, I guess. And then just start seeing progress, crazy, crazy, crazy. Like I'm killing in AAU, I'm killing in summer leagues. Boom, my shoulder comes out again. The other one that I didn't have surgery on. So whatever. This time I'm being like more smart about it. Happened one time. I sat out for maybe 2 weeks or something. Like I was straight. Let it heal a little bit, let it heal, start working out again. Junior year starts, that's probably my best year of high school. Started I was killing, like I was averaging like 15 and 7. We like the best team in the state. We go to the state finals, we go to the conference finals. Like I went all conference, I went all state. Like before junior year, I didn't know I could do that. Like to be honest, like I knew like my senior year, like yeah, but junior year, like game time CT post, like they're putting me top 5 players to watch in the state, like all that. Like it was crazy. Like everyone started knowing me, all that. Then I started to get a little bit of buzz. Like that I thought I was about to hit my peak. Literally, then I started playing AAU. I was playing with Stanford Peace at the time. Started playing AAU. They're about to get like an Adidas contract at the time. So we're still playing like the hoop group tournaments, all that. I'm killing in the hoop group tournaments. Like them getting write-ups, all this. Boom, my shoulder comes out again from the summer before. Surgery again. That was my junior year before senior year. Whole summer surgery again. Couldn't play AAU the whole summer. Had to sit out. All right, came back senior year, about to be senior year. I'm ready. At this point, I'm considering going to prep school already because I didn't play AAU. Senior year, my shoulder from before, from freshman year comes out again. I had surgery on it already, comes out again before the season. I'm like, yo, what am I gonna do? Blah blah blah. Like I'm sad. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I just fought through it. Like I was always taught just fight through. And senior year happens. I had a good year. I probably averaged like 17 and 8 or something. I'm first team all state again. I'm New Haven, like all the newspapers. I played in the JCC All-Star game. Like that's the top players in Connecticut. Play against New Jersey. I played in every All-Star game you can imagine. Like, and this is all with a bad shoulder. Like I used to have to get taped up the whole game. I used to wear a big ass brace on my shoulder. It was crazy. But yeah, just kept doing that. I'm playing with one arm basically, like, but I was hooping. So I'm like, fuck it. Like I don't know if I could curse or not,
You
but
good, you good, you good.
I'm saying like, yeah. I'm saying like I'm going to prep school. I was going to prep school, looking at some prep schools. Yeah, but back then my coach was kind of old school. So like I didn't really understand recruiting like that. Like I was like, oh, I'm just go to prep school and wait for a prep school to reach out to me. So like I said, Danny was a senior when I was a freshman. He went to Putnam since. So then my coach knew them, and maybe Canterbury I was considering too back then. But Putnam came to one of my games and I had maybe like 26 or something. They're there. They're like, yeah, we really want you, blah, blah, blah. I don't know anything about the prep circuit really at this point. Like, they're like, yeah, we want you, blah, blah, blah. I'm here. Like they're talking like any coach would, like talking nice to me. Like then I commit to Putnam. Go to Putnam. This is a different basketball world that I ever seen. Like I'm from Connecticut. Like I'm thinking I'm good. And I go to Putnam. There's dogs there. Like Hami was there, Hamadou Diallo, Eric Ayala, my boy Jaheim. He goes to Gardner Webb. My boy Darnell Brody. He plays at Drake. They're like undefeated right now, maybe one loss. He's their big man. He went to Seton Hall before.
Okay, yeah.
My boy Isaac, he went to Hofstra. He went to Georgia first. My boy Malik went to Texas Tech. Like then there's other dogs too. Like there's my boy Manny. He went to Felician in New Jersey. He's a dog. Like it was a bunch of dog. It was 20. Literally, the school was 25 basketball players. That's it. I call it the basketball academy. Back then, I think they changed a little bit now. They were a school field, but it was up 5:30 in the morning, running, jogging to the track, getting to the track, bear crawling, 100-yard field. That's just like our first workout, bear crawling the whole field, like running a mile, got to do it under 6 minutes, 15 seconds, yo. I'm like, yo, is this really for me? Like, but like that really like told me like what I got to do to be a good basketball player. Like, I thought I worked hard before. Like, I was a young kid, but like then I really see like, oh, like if you really want to work hard, this is what you got to do. Like, so I'm working.
Damn.
There you go. Yeah, like so. Yeah, I'm still I'm still working. Whatever. We haven't opened gyms. I'm getting like write-ups and stuff like I don't know if you follow Putnam's basketball page. Like they always like they're big on like putting out stuff like about all the players. Like we have an open gym. They're like I can remember getting write-up. Like he'll put like the top players of the day. Like I'm in the top players of the day like not most of the time, but like a good amount of times to who I'm hooping with. Like yeah, like I'm like all right, good. But I'm not really seeing my recruiting going how I wanted it to. Like I was waiting for everyone to like reach out to me. Like I think that was my biggest problem then. So then I'm still like I'm thinking D2. Like back then I'm a kid, I'm thinking scholarship, like whatever. Then one open gym, Endicott comes and my cousin goes to Endicott. So I'm just like, oh, like your school was at my open gym, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, just email them, like email the coach. I'm like, all right, like I don't know anything about that back then. So I'm like, all right, like I'll do it. Ended up emailing them. They liked me. Then as time is going on, my shoulder's still messed up from before. I know after the season, I have to get surgery again. So that was gonna be my 4th and 5th surgery after the season on my shoulders. This is all before I'm 19. So I had, four surgeries on my shoulders before I'm 19. But I'm hooping, like I'm doing good. Like I'm not letting this stop me. I'm not letting this stop me. I'm hooping, doing good. My team does good that year. Shoulder pops out again. Hospital. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I shut it down. Like it was near the end of the year. I'm like, I'm not doing this no more. Like I couldn't. It used to like pop out, go back in. Like I'll be straight. It was staying out. I have to go long hospital visits. Like I couldn't do it no more. Like then I just like had after prep school year, maybe in March, I had surgery. And then all my friends that I graduated with are at college, still hooping. I came back home from prep school, so I'm home. Like it's just so funny. Like I'm home, I'm doing nothing. Like it felt like the pandemic to me. Like back then, I'm literally home doing nothing. Like this is the first time in my life I'm really doing nothing. Like I'm like depressed. Like yo, like I just want to hoop. Like why everything happened to me? Back then I'm asking myself why everything happened to me. Why everything happened to me? But like I'm really like learning about myself throughout this. Like. So do that, whatever. I'm getting better throughout the summer. Come to Endicott. I knew I wanted to be at Endicott. Before I came to Endicott, I wanted to be a pro. Like I was like if I'm going D3, I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna be a pro. Cause I've seen them play. I know I could play. Like I know I could play right away. What do I play with? I could play. So I'm coming to Endicott. I couldn't play like pickup right away. I was still recovering from surgery. Start playing pickup and stuff. I'm shooting the ball. I'm like, yo, like I don't know like how to shoot no more. Like like my therapist was even like, oh, like your arm might not be the same, might not have the same mobility. Like I'm like, nah, I'm not listening to that. Like my drive was just gonna get me past that. So did that. Like I couldn't even shoot really. Like it was looking crazy. Like I was in the gym every day though. Like we have our own workouts, but I'm in the gym with my boy Drew, BTS work. He went to school. He went to school at Endicott too. I'm in the gym, what, 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. before class every day. Like I'm like, yo, like I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back. So my freshman year happens. I was like the I was like the sixth man freshman year. I did pretty good, like pretty good maybe. I mm, I did all right. Then I'm coming back sophomore year, like did pretty well again. But then junior year, I'm ready to take off. I think that's gonna be my year. And then I just started off cold. Like I started off the year cold, and I always tell myself back then I feel like I was mentally weak. Like, and the reason I say that is because when we had the pandemic in March, it hit. Like I wasn't really as, like how it is at college. Like you hooping all day and just chilling with your boys. Like you're not really sitting down thinking to yourself like that. Like you're just hooping. Then the pandemic hit. It was time to like do self-reflection again, like I said before, with my shoulders. But I had been through that already. Like a lot of people, this was their first like pandemic, but I truly felt like that's how I felt before. Like, I got the same feeling, like the same like that low feeling, like you're helpless pretty much. So, but like I'm older now, I'm more wise. I'm like, yo, like I'm not hooping no more pretty much, like, because the pandemic hit. I don't know what's going on with my season. Like I can't rely on just being a basketball player no more to like grow like that. Like there's other things to life too. Like I became more mentally strong. Like, so yeah, that helped me a lot. Like that's my basketball journey. So right now we're about to play like maybe like 10 games to finish out the year. So I'm just trying to finish strong, finish what I started basically.
That's a big point right there. Like finish what you started, and like just everything that you just talked about. Like that was a lot. And I honestly, I didn't even know you went through half those. Like that's a lot.
Yeah,
Injury.
the crazy thing is like no one, I don't even like to talk about it because like I remember when it first was happening, used to say I don't want to be one of those people like, oh, if I didn't get hurt, I would have did this. If I would have did hurt, I would have did this. So I was like, I just dealt with it honestly. But now, to be honest, I wish I was reflecting it back then instead of holding it all in. Cause like I could have said it to someone that been through it. Like now that I know people that have shoulder problems, like my close friends, they'll come to me. They, oh, like what should I do? I just hurt my shoulder. I'll be like, I'm like an expert on it now. Like all the therapy sessions, all of that. So
Yeah, see that. And
it made me strong to be. It made me mentally strong for real. Like I really was, cause like I said, I like to work hard. Like I'm in the I'm in the summers. I'm think about it. Like if you hooping, we hoop all year for the basketball year. What, this November to March. March to end of July, you playing AAU. August, August to November again is basically training. I'm missing I'm missing 3 months at a time. Like I'm first is the first surgery 4 months, second surgery 4 months, next surgery 7 months, next two surgeries 7 months. So like I'm missing all this time when I could be really getting better. Like I never really had that time to like really focus on my game. I felt like in high school, but like I was never using that as an excuse. Like I'm still gonna go out there and kill. Like that was trying to put in me. Like I was gonna go out there and do what I could do. Like my like you really, like, it's cliche, but like you really gotta carry me off the court. Like I really believe that you gotta carry me off the court. Like that was my mindset.
yeah, and that's, there's nothing wrong with having that mindset. That's important. I think that's important to have. That shows you have heart and you're a dog, right? And you see
Uh-huh.
that, but you don't see it as much, especially now. Like, and it was not that long ago, right? But like, I think basketball
Uh-huh.
players are not spoiled, but like, they watch too much of the NBA now, and it's all catered to offense, and
Uh-huh.
people really a lot of flopping and this, that, and third instead of playing through contact and then complaining, oh, that's a foul, that's a foul. And like for me, when I train kids and I let them play the kid goes, oh, he just grabbed me. I'm like, so he fouled you. The ref may have missed the call. You're gonna just stop playing and complain,
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta have that dog. Like, all right, I got hit. All right, boom, or I got fouled, but I got to get back on defense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I learned that at prep school too. Like it was dogs when I went to prep school, yo. Like those my boys to this day. I love them forever. But them dudes like really was like everyone there. I could really say was hungry. Like everyone was like I could have went to another prep school. Like probably like honestly, I wish I went to another prep. Like I said, I wish I knew about emailing coaches. Like when I went to Putnam, I learned all that. Like because all these kids was playing. All these kids are from New York. They from Philly. They from Phoenix. Like those are big cities and stuff. Like they got all the sponsored teams. They going all over the place. I don't really know about this. Like the closest sponsored team to us is like New York. Like we had Jayhawks, Lightning, Brents. Then you got Expressions in Mass. You had Rivals in Mass. But those are like select programs. Like it's not like that many. So like I didn't know nothing really about that. I'm just playing AAU like with the best team I could find and what I think is the best tournaments. I'm waiting for coaches to see me like when this whole time, even in high school, I could have been sending my highlight tape to my sophomore year, like, oh, check me out. And coaches would really find you like you got to reach out too. Like that's what I really learned.
Yeah. And it goes back to what I just said too. It's just like, well, good. I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad you're talking about this now because it shows that, and this is pretty recent compared to like people who I've talked to, in terms of your playing career, because you're still in college, and it's just like you just said, like I wish I reached out to more players. So now, like the next, like I've made, like I said, the podcast, like I want them to hear your story. So now it's like they hear this for a high school freshman or sophomore or even senior. Like, I know the game. So like I tell them, but like anybody who I don't know, and they, someone stumbles upon the podcast and actually listens to this, like they hear that and it's like, oh, damn, like I should be doing that. And that's not just for basketball. That's just like anything in life. Like you got to be proactive in terms of like a job opportunity.
It's all about adjustment.
Yeah. Job opportunity shows up. You got to go ask. You got to just go for it. And the worst they say is no. And like, that's not the end of the world. So, but what, like, okay, we're going to go back a little bit. What do you feel, like before we get into, the filming side, what do you feel like, what did you wish you had back in high school that, you see a lot of players have now? I mean, I talk about it all the time. I wish I had, we talk about the gym or like, there's so many, this content, blah, 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 like whatever. Like, what do you think would have given you more of an edge? You got exposed to great, having a great trainer, physically and skill wise with, Staff's dad and stuff. So what do you feel like could have helped you now that kids shouldn't really take for granted now?
I think now kids just have so much resources, like all together. Like I wish, like me and you talked about it, like I wish I had something like Revolution, like where I could just go and I'm working with my own trainer. Like I'm going with Staff's dad, like, and my boy's uncle, but like those are kind of like group sessions. Like it's kind of more generalized. I wish like I had someone to really hone in and be like, all right, like I watch your tape, like I'm seeing what you're doing. This is how you fix this. Like let's work on these moves. Like I wish I had that. I wish I had someone to like really put that in my head. Like my dad is putting this stuff in my head. Like that's the crazy thing. My dad played at Sacred Heart. Like he was a basketball player at Sacred Heart. So he will always say like, you're gonna understand when you're older. You understand when you're older, because like he was right. Like when I was in high school, like you don't really want to listen to your dad. Like you want to argue with your dad. Like, nah, you're not right, like blah blah blah. But he'll tell me like, but I used to listen to him. Like he used to like my dad's the type that was yelling at all the games. Like he was definitely yelling at all the games. But back to the question. I wish I had definitely gym, definitely like someone, a personal trainer to like really hone in on me. And second, I feel like what I do now helps kids a lot with recruiting, like with like recording and stuff. Like it was like a little bit around when I was there, but not as much. Like I could remember like I'm playing AAU. We're playing at East Catholic. I can't believe I remember this. We're playing this team. It was called Team Up. They was pretty good. Like Staff was playing with them. They had Walter White. They had Steve. They had Raheem. Had killers, but I was supposed to play with them. Then I ended up not playing with them. Like it was like they were being weird about something. So I'm like, I'm killing them every time.
Sorry, Steve Enoch?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's
Steve. Yeah, they had a team, bro, for real. And then we played them maybe 3 times that summer. I killed them every time. Like I averaged like maybe 20 something in those games. But I can remember these lights keep going off. I can remember in one game we're playing them at East Catholic, and I'm going crazy. Like I had like 20 something. Like Staff is there. I don't know if you remember in New England, it used to be some dude named like Too Easy Films or something.
Yeah,
I don't know if you were. Yeah, Too Easy's there. He's at the game, bro. Like I'm going crazy. I'm like, yeah, it's lit. Like I'm about to get a tape or something. Like, of course, just stop. Like I'm not following him. Like he's there for Staff. Like he was there. But like I'm like, damn, like that could have helped me. Like if that gets put out there, like that's what I was waiting to remember. I just said like I wanted coaches to see me. So I feel like that could help coaches see me. But now that's what I'm saying. Nowadays, like if you really like are good, like you're gonna get seen. I feel like you have so much resources, so many outlets, so many recruiting pages and things like that. So I wish I had that if I could fix one thing.
Yeah, no, and I man, like imagine me playing high school back in 2006, 2007, 2008. Slightly, it's not that long ago, but it's just a different generation until social media.
It definitely is different.
Didn't kick off until
that's what I'm saying. It was just starting to go like crazy when I was in high school. So when you was there, it was nothing really compared to like.
Yeah, my freshman year of high school, YouTube just came out like 2006. So
yeah, see, that's crazy.
Yeah,
like I lived on. We'll talk about it when we start talking about film. But like I was on YouTube a lot, bro. I love YouTube. So if that was the first year it came out your freshman year, that's crazy.
Yeah, just thinking about that, like I'm like, damn, yo, and Twitter didn't get popping until 2008, and then Instagram really nothing. I mean, I just made an IG back in 2012, 2013. And now it's only been 8 years, 2013. Yeah, 8 years. And now look where IG is
I would say I was in like, when IG first came out, I was in like 8th grade or something. But I remember like the first couple of years, it really was like you and your friends, like just literally talking to your friends. Now like some people hate it, some people like it, but that's how you promote yourself. Like that, those are really advertisements for yourself. Like it's crazy to say, but like that's what the time period we in. Like you could use like there's different ways to use IG like to promote yourself. So
yeah, and it's wild. Like now coaches are on it more. They're not only networking with themselves, but some of them find talent. Like being a coach at a prep school, I was able to get in contact with some schools, and some schools saw like, oh, like who's this kid? I like his highlights. Like, can I get, so it's a different dynamic to today's game. But the other downside, in my opinion, is just like kids do too much for the clout. And
Steve, I know, bro. I know.
I just want to get this out there. Like I might have to cut this and put it out there on social. Just like I can't stand, if you're gonna hoop because you love the game. Don't hoop because you see like an anomaly.
You see somebody else posting something. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I love recording. Like I said, I love recording kids, or I love recording like people in general. I like telling stories. Like I would like you said this before. Like we wish somebody came to our game and recorded us. Like of course, like everyone want that, but like for that to be your only purpose in the game, like if you at the game and you just worried about the camera there, like what moves you gonna do, like that's crazy to me. Like you supposed to hoop, so then the cameraman is like, oh he's tough, like he needs something. But like for you to be like, oh, like you got, like you need this, like you got this, like can I please blah 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 blah. Like I like it more when it's like genuine. Like if you reach out to me and I feel if it's really genuine, like yeah, of course, like I'm gonna help you, you helping me, like of course we could do it. But yeah, it's definitely for the clout sometimes for some people, bro.
It is. No, I'm not, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but just
Nah,
the
that's what I'm saying.
purpose behind like somebody, if you're gonna hoop and hooping at a high level and getting it recorded is just a byproduct of you working. So that's why I think like kids need to change their mindset instead of seeing somebody like a Mikey Williams and be like, oh, I want to be like that, instead of just writing your story, you know?
Yeah, you gotta put the work in.
Exactly.
Then the success will show, bro.
Say that one more time. It kind of cut out.
I said, I'm stuttering. Then the success will show.
Oh yeah. And then
you so scared me to talk.
Nah, bro. No, let's so now let's kind of pivot to where you are, now, and this is a subject that I want to have a clubhouse talk with. I'm actually doing a clubhouse tonight with my cousin, and she was talking about life after being an athlete. And so for you, I think you said like with your experiences, and I actually let's I want to just ask you this question before we get into that part. What kind of helped you get over that low point of your career in terms of your injury? Like that's important to talk about an athlete's mental health. And like we talk about, it's big now, but like when I was in college, it wasn't big. Like we had a psychologist or a therapist, and like when we heard that, we were like, oh no, that's for crazy people, like now it's like it's important. But like what helped you to continue pushing forward through those tough times?
Yeah, like for me, like I said, I love working hard. Like I feel like when really worked hard, like you could like I truly believe, like of course like, life throws you obstacles and curveballs, but like you could do whatever you want. Like I really believe that. Like I'm hurt, like you said, mental health. Like if I was back then, I would be like, damn, like I'm feeling something right now, but I was just really dealing with it. Like, you could hear me? You good?
It was like it's chopping.
Yeah, it's choppy.
Yeah, it's a little choppy.
You now you good? Is it good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Like my connection's not that good either, so I'm probably gonna take off my PlayStation too, so maybe that'll free up some bandwidth. All right, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, like mental health really wasn't so I'm just dealing with it. Like, but what really pushed me is like I really wanted to be like great, honest. Like even if I wasn't at the highest level, I wanted to be great in my field. So like even in high school, like I wanted to be all state. I wanted to be all over the newspaper. I wanted to be that. Like I'm growing up, I'm seeing like in 7th grade, 8th grade, I'm going to the state championship. I'm watching Chris Dunn. Like I'm watching James Jennings, Tomash Parker. Like I'm watching all these dudes go crazy, like I'm going to their games, like they're going crazy, like but the big crowds, like clearly now they can't do it, but like those high school crowds, like that, I was like, yo, like I wanna do that, like. So like, I'm not letting an injury bother me. Like people get hurt all the time. Like I said, I didn't want to be the person like, oh, like this, I got hurt, I can't do this, I can't do that. Like that just really pushed me. And then as I'm getting older, I realized like, maybe injuries like kind of did affect me. I'm like, all right, like I really gave it my all, like, but I just I wish like up here I was more strong. Like I thought I was strong. Like I was telling myself like, oh, like let's just get through it. But I feel I should have been dealing with it. Like I used to let like a lot of things get in my head. Like I said, like my first couple of years, my shoulder was messed up. Like I'm shooting kind of funny. Like my freshman year, I maybe shot like 27% or something. Sophomore year, I shot like 25% from three. Like I never shot like that before in my life. Like I'm usually I'm a lefty, like usually a pretty good shooter. Like teams kind of leaving me open. Like that fucked with my head, bro. Like I'm like, yo, like I can't do this no more. Like I'm really stressed out. Like I'm calling back home to my mom. Like she's like, what's wrong with, like, my mom is literally saying, oh, like, are you okay? What's wrong with you? And I'm just like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm fine. But like, she could really hear it in my voice. Like it was really affecting me. Like then like last year, I shot better last year. I shot maybe like 30, 32 from three, maybe 33. Shot better, but like still it's like, damn, when I'm playing pickup and stuff, like I'm hitting everything, and then I'm getting in the game, I'm letting all the mental stuff mess with me. So then pandemic hit, then that's when I said like I really found myself. Like I really just had to deal with it. Like, oh, like at the end of the day, it's one shot. At the end of the day, like you shooting or something is not really affecting anyone else's life. You should not really think about what somebody else is thinking about you. Like you really just gotta not to be, I was never like a selfish type of person, but sometimes you really gotta be like selfish, like, and be like, all right, like I'm gonna get through this the way I want to get through it. Like I'm gonna think about it and all that. So that's what really drove me.
No, and
And
that's
also when you said you had a team psychologist, right?
yeah.
When I went to prep school, we had a team psychologist. He used to always say, you guys should meditate. Like, let's take time to meditate. Like you said, we're not about to meditate. Like, why would I do that? Like, I'm not no monk or something. Like, but
Yeah.
then like, as I'm getting older, like you start dealing with more stresses. Like you start working and all that, you're dealing with more stresses. Like, but sometimes you really just got to take a step back and it really helps. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say I meditate like every day or whatever, but like I really sometimes like try to sit back and like just reflect on like what's good in my life, like what I'm grateful for, like all the loving people in my life that support me and stuff. And that stuff really helps you for real.
Yeah, and that's like a major key. Like, and obviously now more and more players talk about meditation. Like I was meditating way back when, and I didn't do it on purpose. My mom made me meditate. She wanted to build
Mm-hmm.
me and my brothers up mentally. She saw my mom had a lot of insight to a lot of things. Obviously also with like supplements in terms of like black seed oil and just a bunch of these things to help our bodies, and then not just our body, physical body, but our mental and our spiritual. So definitely, like, that's something I think I need to get to in terms of explaining to the players I train more, just to give them an advantage. I think it does. If you feel calm and if you're at peace with yourself, you can just enjoy things going forward. But now let's get into life after basketball. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
at what point did you, well, I know you for what you do with the camera, but like, when did that kind of pick up some steam for you in terms of just like when did it come up as like a hobby or / passion?
Mm-hmm.
And then when did
Yeah.
you realize it was something you kind of wanted to do moving forward?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know how the craziest thing, like I just always liked to edit. Like I used to when I was like, what grade was that? Maybe like sixth grade, fifth grade. How old are you? Like 12 maybe? Like me and my friends, we used to get light, like the dance like get
Mm.
light. We used to get light. We used to love getting light. So we had like my mom used to record every game, all my games. Like she had a camcorder at every game. So we used to take the camcorder, like record ourselves dancing. And I was like, I could edit it. Like I had like Windows Movie Maker or something. Like I'm like 12 years old. Like I don't know where those videos are. Actually, I'm glad they gone. I'm glad I don't know where they at. I don't know where they at. So I did that. And then I was trying to go to St. Luke's was looking at me. So then I had to make a highlight tape for myself for football. Like I said, my mom did everything. I made my own highlight tape back then. Like, and then I'm going through high school. Like I said, I was hurt. Like I was a lot of time at home on YouTube. Like I'm watching Home Team Hoops, Corey Sanders, Dwayne Bacon. I love that. I'm watching, like me and you talked about it, Devin the Lab. Like I religiously watch him and Trevor Dunbar, like their path. Like that's really what, like I was like, yo, like this is fire. Like I could really I could see myself doing this, like telling stories, like just being cool with players, like if I don't play. So I'm in high school still, still I'm just like basketball, so I'm making it with basketball. So senior year comes around, senior year happened. I made my own highlight tape again. I'm like, I'm joking around. Like, I'm like, yo, because like my nickname came like freshman year, like of high school. So I'm like, yo, ShakyFilmz, like just joking around, like literally joking around, like ShakyFilmz. I'm like, I could do this, like, whatever, go to prep school. I'm like, start looking at colleges, and then in college, you're like, oh, what do you want to major in? Like, and I'd like my thing. I knew, like I was the type of person, I knew basketball always comes to an end. Like people always say that, but like it really does. Like you need to have another plan. Like I knew I wasn't going to the league. Like I wanted to go pro, but like that's a long shot. Like you never know. So I'm like, I want to do something else, but I want to be around sports. Like I've been playing sports my whole life, like nothing else, just sports. Didn't want to. I didn't really want to stay in the office all day. Like my mom like does business and stuff. Like I seen how like sometimes like business was stressing her out and stuff. Like, I wanted to be like her, but like I wanted to travel in different ways. Like, I wanted to experience it differently. So I'm like, I'm looking at the majors and stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm a major in digital media. Like I love going on YouTube. I love like ESPN, like seeing all the edits and stuff. Like that stuff just always caught my eye. Like, so then freshman year, we're doing my group project, like my first group project or whatever. And then we did it on me. Like my group was like, let's just do it on you. Cause I told them I had like my shoulder story, did it or whatever. Posted that. That went crazy. Like that was going crazy. And then my boy BTS where the first workout I ever did with him, he had like this camera guy there. His name Nick Grace. He's tough. He's like, oh, he doesn't really edit though. He takes pictures. And then I was like, yo, like, what you about to do with this? He's like, I want to make a video. I gotta get somebody to edit it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, I edit. And he literally to this day, he'll be like, yo, like, I thought you was joking around. I wasn't really taking you serious. Then he literally, I edited for him. He's like, yo, like, you kind of good at this. Like I chopped it up like crazy, like for back then, for what I was doing back then. And then I will always edit for him. Like someone will record our workout or his workout, I would edit for him. Like, so I was constantly editing because I was playing basketball. So I didn't have time to go to like a kid's game or something like that. So I was just always constantly editing his videos and stuff. And then it just kept going. But then like my sophomore year, I didn't know if I wanted to do it anymore. Cause I would like, at my school, you have to have internships. So my freshman year, I did it at like an Access TV station. Boring. Sophomore year, I did it at some production company. They did videos with like engineering companies and stuff like that. I'm boring. So I'm like, nah, bro, like, I don't know if this is for me. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, also, I'm in school in my classes. Like, no one is like me. Like, no one else plays sports. Like, no one else was playing sports. No one else like was watching. Like, we'll talk about shows and stuff. Like, I would I've never heard of those shows. Like, I'm like, damn, like, this is just not for me. It's not for me, not for me. But like, I decided to just keep doing it. I was like, all right, like, I'm gonna make it for me. Cause I know I really, like I said, as I got older, got way more mentally strong. Like I was like, oh, like this is like what I want to do. Like, I'm not like everybody else. Like a lot of people that record and stuff, like, they never really hooped or anything, I would say, like, for the basketball wise. But and like, I really hoop, but I like to do that too. And my boy Sean Edwards, he's an editor and shooter for Slam. He started working for Slam in maybe like 2018. I'm like, yo, I need a internship. I need an internship. For years, he's like, I got you. So then the fall, my junior last year, I'm like, yo, I need an intern. I'm trying to do an internship all summer, next summer, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, I got you, blah, blah, blah. Then it's like the fall, and he's like, do you want to come intern? I can't at that point because Slam is in New York. I'm in Mass playing basketball. So I was like, oh, I can't right now. He's like, all right, I'll hit you up in the summer, whatever. Um, I go home that winter for like break. We go home for like 5 days before we come back to campus. I recorded 3 games, literally 3 games. Those videos went crazy. Like, they really went crazy. Like, that was maybe my sixth or seventh time ever recording like a game. Like, I've like before this past summer, I only recorded maybe 5 or 6 games. Like, I recorded Filet and Whitehead one time, and then like some random high school games. But like, still 5 or 6 games to like not like be good at editing. Like, people really were like, oh, like, your videos are tough. Like, I'm like, oh, I could do something with this, like, for real. So I'm just getting ready for Slam. I'm not really editing during the years. It was hard because I was playing basketball and stuff. So I'm
Right.
getting ready. Like, I think I'm gonna intern at Slam in the summer. The pandemic hits. I'm dealing with the end of the season. How I said I was kind of depressed. Like, the pandemic hit. Then I'm like, damn, I don't know what I'm even gonna do for my internship now. Like, but my boys hit me up. I talked to the producer at Slam. I got hired or whatever. And then I told myself, then, like, I'm gonna edit every day, like, because I know in basketball, like, when I was playing basketball, like, I wanted to work out every day because, like, that's really how you get better. Like, there's no secret. I wanted to edit every single day, and then for Slam, I wanted to leave like an impression. Like whatever they asked me to do, I was gonna do. Like, we was doing like, it was like a lot of Zoom meetings like this, like, because like it was the pandemic. It would be like one video we did, it was like Sharif Cooper and his family, a Zoom, like 10 p.m. Like, just finished editing all day, 11. I'll do it. I never said no to nothing. Like, so then like that, we did that, like, um, started with you in the summer, did that Max video in the summer, Max Edwards, from when he was working out with you, like, that blew up. And then, yeah, like, just a couple videos blew up for Slam, and I'm like, yo, I could really do this. And then, like, they're telling me, like, oh, like, you're getting way better, you're doing great, like, people that have been in the industry. And like, so I'm like, yeah, I could really do something with it. And then when I really like thought I could do, 'cause I was just editing like video, I wasn't really shooting like that. Like, I'm still, even to this day, I'm still learning more shooting. But record with you, with Sonia, made that video, and as you know, that video went crazy.
That
Like,
one
it was
crazy.
posted everywhere. Yeah, that
Everywhere.
video, everywhere, bro. Like, literally, I remember that, like, that morning I woke up. What time was that? Like 7 or 8 when she was working out.
Yeah. I think it was like 8. Yeah, it was early.
Yeah,
Early.
yeah. Early, bro. Early. I was tired that morning. So I remember I was like, nah, I'm going to this. Edited it, and that's you know where it went from there. And then just still progressing, like still creating progress, working with you, working with other people. Like I always wanted to I always like to see myself, like it's hard. I used to always look at it like, oh, like I never know what I'm gonna be doing next year. Like I used to always be like, damn, like I want people to be hitting me up to ask me for videos, people to be like, yo, your videos are tough, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I really started getting to that point. Like people people really like my videos. People are asking for me to come record them. Like, so sometimes you're like, when you're in the moment, you just gotta like look back to where you were before, and then you just realize like damn, I
Come
came a
on.
long way.
Yeah. And that's
And
important.
I'm still growing. Like I'm just starting, man. Like it just basically was 1 year, not even a year. It'll be a year, and like
It's the
it'll be a
summer.
year. Yeah, it'll be a year in like May or June when like I've really like started editing like a lot. Like
Yeah.
so like I did it like here and there before, but like I'm really like zoning in on it now. So I can't wait to see where it takes me for real.
Bro, and we talked about it. Like I'm a year and a couple months in, 2019, 2020. Yeah, I'm a year and a couple months in on a full-time training. I used to do training on the side. And I've been able to make a sustained living off of it, but now it's like I'm trying to take it to the next level. So, but like I want to do it all. I'm not just trying to stick to training. I want to do a podcast. I want to do what encompasses the hoop culture, which is like obviously video, and then that's your passion. Like hoopers are more than just, we can make a living off the game still. We don't have to be a
Nah,
pro. We
nah, he's
don't.
literally that's how I feel, bro. Because a
Yeah.
lot of people like literally like well even when I'll go to your workout sometimes, I'll start recording like then like I'll put the camera down for a little bit. I just start shooting around like and people will be like, oh, you hoop, like you good at basketball? I'm like, yeah, we better check the resume.
Yeah, check the resume. You guys gotta check the resume.
Better check the resume.
Check the resume.
I did a little bit. I wasn't the best. I did a little bit though. Like
Yeah,
you
nah,
gotta give me a little props.
yeah, nah. These kids don't know because the issue like we talked about. They just got so much social media. They don't know the
Mhm,
history. Like there's just so many things going on. They see so much. They don't know,
mhm.
especially like I mean, we're small, it's pretty small state, but like
Yeah.
people still would know about each other like somewhat.
Mhm,
But like it's surprising. Like I didn't know much, and I'm older. I didn't know as much as I do now in terms of 860, and
mhm.
the three hoopers, and just like the respect that I've grown from being in both spots. So, um, but yeah, no, that's huge. So like, what do you see? What do you feel like is your next step for yourself in terms of getting to from here? Like you went from here to here. Now, what do you feel like you need to do to get to that next tier?
Um, yeah, I think I always say now, like as I'm getting older, like people always tell me, but like I'm really glad, like I'm a great like me and you, like I met you, we was cool right away. Like I'm great at meeting people of from all walks of life and just being cool right away. Like I'm gonna try to find the best in everybody. So I think really what helped me is like networking type of things. Like I said, like working for Slam, like that that gave me crazy connections. Like I'm big on like LinkedIn. Like I think LinkedIn is the best social media app. Like of clearly if you're looking for entertainment or something, no, but like to progress your life or at the point I'm at, I love LinkedIn. Like I love seeing other people's success stories and other people that drive me. So like just networking on that and then just keep working like I said, a lot of players are like still liking me like like I did the Max video, like that's does numbers still. Every time someone goes on his page, I did other video like Sonia, like I'm just trying to keep recording that. Then at the same time, I'm gonna have my professional side. Like I've worked with a company called Big Blue Ox right now. They do like professional videos for Netflix and big companies like that. Like that's my job. Like I came to college, went through 4 years, you know how it is. Like, you going through college is not easy. Like, it's definitely not easy. Like, I'm really trying to make money with that, become a real professional. Like, when I'm learning from, when I learn from a company like that, I can apply it to my own businesses, my own promotional page, my own marketing, my own advertising. Like, I don't want to just be, oh, he makes mixtapes, like he makes basketball mixtapes. Like, I can make, I want, like, down the line, I want to make, like, I want to produce, like, I want to do a lot, bro. Like, I want,
Yeah, I
it's a
mean, and
lot.
that's
It's a lot in the plans. But
yeah,
like, I'm also the type, as much as I like to plan, I also like to, I don't want to give myself like false hope or anything. Like, you really got to think about, like, I like to think about things realistically. Like, and right now I think like those things could really be obtained. Like, I'm still 22, like I'm still so young. So I think like
so
even that's what I'm saying. Like, I turn 23 next week and I feel old, but like, and you probably like, damn, you only 23. Like,
just stop, bro. Just
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That really got to sit back and be like, oh, like I'm still so young, bro. There's so much to experience.
yeah, bro. Like you
I
got
really,
and then go ahead.
I can't, like, I really can't wait. That's all I had to say. I can't
Yeah,
wait for it, bro.
nah, you'll and to be honest, and this is like just a teaching point, you'll manifest what you want as long as you work. That's one of my
Mhm.
other like phrases I say. Like I can train a kid as much as I can, but like if they're not willing to want to go above and beyond, they're not going to get good. And so
Mhm.
like, with the, clientele that I train, like the ones that say, I'm like, what's your goal? And they say pro level. All right. What are you doing to be a pro? Are you treating your body as a pro? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Like it's a grind, but if you want it, you can get it, you know?
Yeah. That's what I'm
Um,
saying. Like, I say to people all the time, like, it's really levels to things. Like Meek said it, like, it's really levels. Like, you gotta, if you really want to be like that, like, you really gotta like
you
go
got
in on it.
yeah, you
Like,
gotta be
you
different.
gotta be, you gotta go all in. Like, you like I never, any pro, like, of course you got a couple pros that just God gifted talent, but you never heard no pro, successful person, anyone like motivation or anything. You've never heard them say, oh, like, it just happened. Like it just happened to me. Like, of course you're gonna have those one, like, couple people, but like most people, like, they really work for it. Like, they really like were crazy about it, like obsessive about like what they want to do. Like, and I really think like you could do whatever you want. Like, you really could. Like, some people don't have the advantages like that maybe like I have, or they have more advantages than me. Like, of course, like, there's everyone's life is different, but you really could like manifest it. Like, if you really, really, really want to, like, you really have to want to, for real.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that, and that's you bring up a great point. Like, it's just the mental capacity, the mental focus, the mental tenacity that you need to be able to get to that point. It's not, you have to go through things in order to get it. You're just not gifted with it. So
Yeah,
you've been
exactly.
through what you had to go through to get you to be like, yo, all right,
Nah,
I've
for
been
real.
through it. I'm
I
tested.
really believe, yeah, I really believe everything happened for a reason. Like back then, people, like, when I used to get hurt, people used to always say that to me. Everything happened for a reason. Everything happened. I was not trying to hear that back then. I'm in my bed crying. Like, I'm 16. I'm 16. I'm going crazy in a tournament, and I can't play the rest of the summer. Like, when I'm about to get recruited, no, I'm gonna cry my eyes out right now. But though, I'm telling you, like, those tears really help me, like, now, bro. Like I look back, like, wow, like, of course I never wanted to get hurt, but like that strength wise, like, in my mind, that really helped me. It really did.
And the people don't realize that. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna ask you one last question.
Mhm.
If your current self right now, if you can go back and give yourself advice to 13, 14, 15-year-old Jordan, what things would you say to him?
I would just say, um, I would say just don't rush things. Like, I feel like when I was hurt, when I got hurt, like I was like, nah, I gotta play. Like I gotta keep doing it. But like if you think about it, like it might like I said, you gotta be realistic with yourself. Of course, everyone wants to play, but it might have been better when I got hurt and when like say I dislocated my shoulder in July. If I would have my freshman year, maybe AAU is not that important really freshman year. Like it's important clearly, but like like maybe I should have sat out those 3 months right then, or those two. I should have sat out that month or 2 months instead of 6 months with surgery, like things like that, like little things like that, like that. I think that would really help me. Also, yeah, like I don't know. I don't know what I would tell myself. I kind of like the way I was.
Yeah.
But it's just little things like that. Just like really mentally, I really wish. Of course, you get wiser as you get older. I was a little kid, but like just mental things for real.
Yeah. And that's and the reason why I asked that question is just like I always put it out there. It's just like I mean, I wish things went different, but I don't because of it's where it's led me to.
Yeah, literally. That's
So
what I'm saying. I say like I wish, like I said before, like maybe I should have like emailed coaches or whatever. But I'm glad I ended up at Endicott. Like if I didn't end up, I'm glad I did everything. Like I met some of the greatest people, connections. Like even if like things didn't work out how I thought it was when I first came, like it's like it ended up like I'm setting myself up. Like I came to college for what I got to do, what I had to do. Like realistically, like I wanted to go pro and all that, but like you come to college to like be able to work after, like and be successful for yourself after. Like a lot of people like will say like, oh, like college, like you don't need college, blah blah blah. Like I really believe I kind of needed it. Like I really kind of grew up in college. Like when you 18, you think you old or whatever, but I'll look back like, nah, I was a little kid. Like I like I was really a little kid. Like and then like at my school, like we had to do internships every semester. Like my freshman year, I'm like, wow, I gotta do an internship, blah blah blah. Like I could just work at this camp, blah blah blah. Now by senior year, I got 6 things on my resume, like crazy things on my resume. Like that, those are years of like people complain like, oh, jobs. Why do jobs need experience before? Like that. Sometimes that's definitely true, but like I really have like that experience now. Like so, when I'm ready to like go into the workforce, like I'm prepared. Like I really believe that.
yeah, nah, that's and like all those things are like valid points. Everybody's situation is different. It's what you gotta. I mean,
Exactly.
you won't know until you do it. And then so I keep saying, I say this too. It's like you can plan out this, that, and a third, but until you make a decision and just go through with it, you won't know if it was the right or wrong decision. And regardless of
Everybody is
what
different.
happens, you have to live with it and then learn and then make adjustments from there. Like we just talked
Mhm.
about adjustments. You have to be able to adjust, and that's a key.
Yeah.
Pivoting in life off the basketball court, not pivoting on the court, pivot off the court.
Mhm.
So no, but that's it. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for taking the time to talk and tell your story, spread your knowledge. Hopefully somebody, kid, I don't know who, honestly, I don't know who listens to my podcast. Right now, I have like 3,000 plays since I started last year around this time, which is
Mhm.
not bad, 3,000 in a year. I'm not really promoting it crazy like I could, but like last month I had 400, almost 500 plays. That's the most I've ever had. I didn't even know. I checked my stats yesterday. This month it's like at almost 300. Like my numbers are going up slowly but surely. I think more and more people are getting to the podcast
Mhm.
industry. So it's like more ears. So I want to really make sure I keep putting content out, talking about the culture. But besides that, I want
Yeah.
people relate to people. So getting more
Mhm.
people on,
Nah, I appreciate it.
yeah, no
Cause
doubt.
I never, I don't think I ever told anyone my full, like if someone asked, I'd be like, yeah, I got hurt in high school. Like my parents know maybe, like that I
Yeah.
never really came out and said it. But that's like I said, it feel good. Like it feel good to really come out and say it.
Yeah,
Like
bro. Like
what you went through.
you don't know who one. I think it's therapeutic to talk about yourself, as cocky as that sounds, just because you can reflect as you speak. You're like, damn, like these are things like
Like
I
all that happened. Like
Yeah.
literally I'm thinking like usually I'm like, yeah, I just got it, but I'm really thinking like, damn, like all that happened and I still was able to go through high school, be successful there. I still was able to come to college. I start sophomore, junior, would have started senior year without the pandemic, 6-man freshman year. Like I still was able to do that with everything I went through. Like sometimes you just look at it like, think like you look at the current moment, but you really got to look back sometimes and be like, think about where you came from. And you really start to appreciate things.
Yeah, man. So like, that's what I said. Like, I'm just glad you were able to get that off, like almost like a video confession or therapy. Like you're like, and the main thing is, like I said, I don't know who this is going to reach. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I'm going to put this on social. Like, obviously you can post it too. I'm going to try to find a clip here. One where it's a nice gem. You dropped a couple here and there. So it's just like, I want to make sure that I put a good one up and then get people, listening. And then that way they be like, oh, Shaky, I want to hear his story. I want to know why he's here, blah, 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 So, yeah, bro, appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
No doubt. And thank you everybody for listening to the NDO podcast. Name change coming soon. Tune in for that. And
know that.
Know that. Shh, they don't know that. They don't know that. They don't know that yet. But yeah, so thank you for tuning in, and keep checking out the podcast for more information about the hoop culture, hoop life. And thank you guys for listening. Keep grinding, stay safe, and I gotta change the close off line. It was no days off. I gotta figure something else, but I'm just gonna keep it at that. No days off.